Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good day, wherever in the world you are. Pay attention. It's the last day of Women's History Month. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the host of the Style For It live stream today. It's called Women's History Month, Favorite Quotes We Know and Love. And so I've garnered some quotes that I think that you should know. And if you don't, then you'll learn. And then also we're going to talk about what these quotes mean, why Women's History Month is important, and how we can champion women all year long. So what do I need you to do? A couple of things. First, let's share this out, guys. Let's share this with our friends, our family. I'm going to share it out right now as we're talking. If you have quotes that you love, if you have women that you want to tag and celebrate, put them in the comments. Let's tag and celebrate. It is a day of celebration. It's a Sunday. It's a weekend day, as well as an opportunity, like I said, to celebrate women, because I love Women's History Month. It's the month that is not the most meaningful month of the year, but it is a month that is tremendous because it forces everyone to take a beat and take a pause and really say, wow, these women help us get to space. These women figured out this mathematical, quandary that needed to be solved. These women helped design this. Women are the backbone of our society. Women are the bringers of life. Women frickin' rule. So as a woman, I'm excited to be here and celebrate other women, and I want to celebrate you. So please join me in this fun endeavor and share this out so that we can have a good time. And I'll tell you a little bit about me and a little bit about Style For It before we get started. Again, Natasha Nurse. I am not only the brand ambassador for Style For It, but I am the little old lady who is running Dressing Room 8. It's a joke, obviously. I created Dress Room 8 about 4 years ago. It's a blog, it's a platform, it's a space for women to come and learn how to have more fulfillment, how to curate a career or a life that is meaningful for them, how to use things like social media, like fashion, like media to build and garner a brand for yourself, for your business. I am a writer, I'm a public speaker, I'm an influencer, I'm a radio personality, I'm a podcaster, I'm a model. I do a million things, but all, again, under the guise or under the umbrella of wanting to help people be very intentional and very purposeful in the life that they live and the things that they do in their life, because too many people are unconscious, and myself included. There was a time where I was reactive instead of proactive in the decisions I was making in my life. And now that I have switched the flipped the switch, it's awesome. Flip the switch. Yep. I see the difference, and I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful that I flipped the switch, and I feel like every day is a celebration, and I want everyone to have that feeling within themselves. So let's celebrate women. What is Style For It? So we get an understanding of that. Style For It is the first plus size online consignment dedicated to sizes 12 to 32. 12 to 32. You didn't mishear me. How awesome is that? That is freaking awesome. And what's really cool is, if you're not familiar with consignment, so have you ever said, I have a bunch of stuff in my closet that I'm not wearing, but I don't know what to do. Maybe I want to donate it, but maybe I could make money. Yeah, you could actually make money. You could post and create a store of your own on styleforit.com, and you can actually make money off of things that are already in your closet. How cool is that? Super cool. So what do you have to do? You have to go to styleforit.com. You need to create an account, sign up for the newsletter, and get going and start making money. Ladies, sizes 12 to 32. There's money to be had. Don't leave money on the table. You understand? You understand. All right, cool. So styleforit.com is where you get all the details. Styleforit.com is where you can also check out their blog. You can check out their YouTube channel. You'll see a lot of moi, as well as other influencers like the Faith Costa. She is an artist and just everything. Model, advocate. She's been a really great woman and influencer in the Style For It community. But if you as well are interested in joining learn more, get all the information you need at styleforward.com. So let me put that in the comments before we get the program started, and then we can keep the party train going. And if you also, I don't know if I mentioned this, if you have any questions, right, and you're like, I don't understand, that is also where you can get more information to say, oh, let me reach out. If you want to learn more about consignment, if you have questions about your own shop, if you don't know what is sellable, the platform, you can sell tops, you can sell dresses, you can sell pants, you can sell jackets, you can sell belts, you can sell bags. I mean, it's really quite an array of products that you can sell. So if any of those things are in your closet, size is 12 to 32, and you're like, oh, I totally could sell this and make money. What my question to you is, what's stopping you, right? So keep sharing, ladies, keep sharing this video. That would be really, really great. And then from that, I think we are going to be ready to start. So quotes we know and love. So I want to go through several in no particular order, just women who I definitely look up to, women who I admire, women who I enjoy their content. And let's talk about each of the quotes, and let's talk about why they're important and what they mean for us in our lives. So right out of the gate is by Emma Watson. I don't want other people to decide who I am. I want to decide that for myself. That's super critical. Why? Because what did I mention earlier? So much of my life has been reactive instead of proactive. What does that mean? It means I wasn't making decisions for myself. Things were just appearing or options were available, but what did I not do? I didn't necessarily decide things. And that is that going to really lead or deliver an outcome that I really want? Probably not, right? So what do? You flip the switch and you get proactive and you decide, what do you want? What do you not want? What makes you happy? What doesn't make you happy? What are things that you want to try to push the boundaries with, right? Things like that. So that's one thing. I totally agree. I think that if you refuse to be the driver in the car of your life and you're always seeing yourself as the passenger, then what does that also open you up to? It opens you up to the idea of being kind of quote unquote a victim, right? It also opens up the idea, which Tony Robbins has taught us, if you're familiar with his platform, that life doesn't happen to, some people think like life is happening to them, but it's not. Life isn't happening to you. It's happening for you. That's what Tony Robbins has said. That is what we need to apply and embed into our lives. You are the driver in the car of your life. Drive, baby, drive. That's what you need to think. Drive, baby, drive. All right. So there's that. Next quote on deck is by Beyonce. Hello, Queen Bee. If you ever happen to see this, I adore you. Quote, we need to reshape our own perception of how we view ourselves. We have to step up as women and take the lead. So what does that mean? I think that's kind of a charge to say, hey, let's lean in, right? Let's stop saying that we can't run companies, or, you know, the boys club won't open up to us. We have to what? If there isn't a door open, you find a window. If there isn't a window, you get a sledgehammer and you make a hole in the wall. Like that, literally, you cannot stand for opposition and use that as an excuse not to succeed. Use that as an excuse not to move forward. It's unacceptable. And as women, we know that we can, right? Because look at women. We are, like I said earlier in the program, bringers of life. If we can create life within us, I'm sorry, but there's nothing that we can't do. It's like the hardest thing that one could do is to create life, right? And to nurture and to bring it here on earth and to survive and thrive. We can do anything. So we need to shape the lens of how we view ourselves. We need to control, right, our destiny by understanding that we actually have a hand at making things happen, right? I know that things, and sometimes in the media or sometimes obstacles are happening and it feels like we're not in control, but we have to get past that and understand we can make a difference. Our voice always matters. Our feelings do matter, and we have to act. No matter how hard, no matter how challenging, no matter how glim it may seem. Keep frickin' moving. keep it moving, right? So that's what I've learned. That's what I take away from that quote. And if you disagree and you're like, Tasha, I don't think so, please put that in the comments. Let's, have a conversation about it, okay? Next quote is by Alice Walker. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. What was I just talking about? Be the driver in the car of your life. Be the driver, be the driver, be the driver. Like, you need to recite that to yourself. I might actually get that tattooed to me because I'm so keen on this quote. I'll say it again because I really like this one. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. You know what's really interesting? There are people in my life that constantly, if I want to have a conversation about opportunities or the future or plans, the first thing that they do is they see the obstacle, or they see how other people can, quote unquote, prevent me from having this. And these people are, sadly riddled with negativity and fear, and that's why they would respond in such a way. Don't be that person, but also acknowledge when that's happening, right? And it's like, maybe when you share your ideas and you share your beliefs, and you have to be careful about that, because not everyone in your life is for you. Not everyone in your life wants you to achieve. Not everyone in your life wants you to move forward. So you have to acknowledge it. And if you don't know who those people are, then you have to curtail how you share your dreams, how you share your goals, because those sharings can create the situation where you start to feel like people are working against you, right? And so why would they do that? Is because they themselves feel powerless, and they don't want you to feel any different, because then that would kind of bring awareness and enlightenment to what they're doing. And so what they do is they put it down on you and say, no, you can't, you can't achieve that. No, that's not possible, right? You can't do that. So that's what I learned from that. Next quote is by Marie Curie. And this says, nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. Oh, I love that. I'm going to say that again. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we fear less. Fear is a rough emotion. It's a very natural emotion. It's an emotion that I think has helped human beings survive, given all of the history of what it is to be a human being, what it is to be alive, what it is to be alive in 2019, right? But fear also it generates and breeds hatred. It breeds situations that create dismal and angst and chaos amongst us, amongst other species, just generally in this world. And what is interesting is, if we did know more, if we entertained the idea of difference a bit more in our society, we would as Marie Curie says, we would fear it less, and we would find a way to incorporate things in our lives. But the natural human instinct is, if we don't understand it, we fear it, and sometimes even attack or push it out, right? But really, the time is now. The time is now to understand more. The more we understand, the less we can fear, right? I like, again, something that you could get tattooed to you or put as a mantra in your kind of a vision board or on your wall. The more we understand, the less we can fear. That is super powerful. And the more that, as women, at least I can speak for myself, is the more that we charge and tell the world our story and our narrative, and we make it damn well known what it's like to be a woman, what it's like to be a person of color, what it's like to be a marginalized person, right? The more the world can understand the narrative, because not everyone looks like you, right? Not everyone comes from your background. Not everyone shares your story. But the more that you come out here, and it could be a Facebook Live, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be a podium in front of 30,000 people, but it could just be you come up here, you share your story on a live, maybe you do it weekly, whatever, and you get it out there so that people can understand, right? There was a time in our life where no one talked about the trans narrative, right? Now we can't not see it. And I'm so happy, because it's something that, all people deserve happiness. All people deserve joy and fulfillment and love and respect, no matter what, right? But we can only get to that place if we are sharing and we have some form of understanding. But we can't understand what we don't see. We can't understand what we don't understand. Like if there's no exposure, if there's nothing, if there's no connection to it, then it's as if it's just this like scary dark cloud that's approaching and you're just like, oh my God, I don't know, shoot it. We are Americans, right? So I'm joking. I'm so joking. So joking. But you get the drift, right? That we fear things and we just act buck wild, right? Next quote. Coco Chanel. Ooh, Coco Chanel. The most courageous act is still to think for yourself aloud, right? Thinking for yourself is one of the most freeing things you'll ever do. It's how you set the path of your life. It is how you distinguish yourself. It is how successful people get where they're going. They are courageous enough to think for themselves and do it out loud and to live unapologetically and to live fearlessly and to be courageous enough to make quote unquote mistakes, to quote unquote fall, to quote unquote fail. Because through that there's learning, through that there's growth, through that there's glory, right? Growth and glory. That's kind of what I call it. So, isn't it good? It's like we're going to church, y'all. Wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. This is awesome. And again, please, in the comments, please share your favorite quote or words maybe of wisdom by a woman that you know and love or just someone that you admire, because it's Women's History Month. It's the last day. We got to celebrate. We got to bring this in with a bang. But then we'll talk about how we can also celebrate women all year long. Hello, bringers of life. Come on. Next. This is by Tina Fey. Love her. Whatever the problem, be part of the solution. Don't just sit around raising questions and pointing out obstacles. So again, this is something that reaches my heart near and dear, because there are too many people in my life that all they do is quack, quack, quack about obstacles and problems that they see, whether it's cultural, whether it's political, whether it's community. But if you were to turn around and say, hey, problem seer, do you want to do anything to find a solution? They'd be like, no, that's not me. I'm not an activist. I don't need to do that. Oh, I can't have an opinion about things. Oh, you can have an opinion about things, but you don't want to do nothing about things, right? Cool. That's really adding to the world, right? Yep, exactly. How amazing. So, guys, what do you want, right? What do you want? Do you want to bitch and moan? Or do you want to actually do stuff? You have to decide. And that's actually, so there's an author that, Dan Norris, he's not a woman, but it's just a great book. I always plug it whenever I can. Create or Hate by Dan Norris. Get it on Amazon. It's a really affordable Kindle. It will change your life. He essentially says the world is created in two people, creators and haters. Figure out who the hell you are and figure out, if you don't like your designation, how to be another thing. All right. So that's what that quote is all about, right? Pretty much just you see problems and you're like, oh, there's problems. And then you don't want to do anything about it. So how are you making things better? Is bitching and moaning, is that how we make things better? Oh, that's so interesting. Oh, no, it doesn't, guys. It doesn't. That's my version of sarcasm. So just making weird noises. You'll love it. You'll love it if you haven't heard it. If this is your first interaction with me, welcome to the world of Tasha. I do a lot of playtime acting, I guess is what I would call it. It's kind of I think that's what you would do. So there's that. There's another quote I want to, just adjusting, I want to share, by Elizabeth Warren. So who's heard this one? We believe that equal means equal, and that's true in the workplace. It's true in marriage. It's true every place. So let me get that going. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you understand that quote? Do you want me to read it again? Let me read it again. We believe that equal means equal, and that's true in the workplace. It's true in marriage. It's true every place. So I think what's key about that quote is the idea that equality doesn't have one place to live. It's not like when we think about the Me Too movement, or we think about the fourth wave feminism movement, or, any type of equal rights, equal pay, I think what Elizabeth Warren is saying here is that equality lasts forever, should last forever, and should last in any space, right? So when we say women deserve to be treated like equals, it's at her job, it's in her house, it is in her personal space, it is everywhere, because equality has no limits, right? Like, and it has no like space specific for it. It's just kind of ever-reaching, everlasting domain that we all should welcome and celebrate. I think that some of the saddest things that I see online is this kind of questioning of feminism or questioning of equality, that like to give equality is to reduce or to create inequality for others, and that's not what equality is. Equality means equality. All parties, all human beings have a right to XYZ. Not so hard to understand. Is it hard to execute? Is it hard to actually apply? Hells yes. Absolutely. But that's because we as a society refuse to incorporate this. If we change our view and our lens on equality, I think it becomes a lot easier to execute it. But it's a progress, it's a movement. But I appreciate that you, when you think about equality, don't forget, we're not just talking about the workplace. We're not just talking about the home life, right? And in marriage. We're talking about everywhere, right? That's a hell of a quote. We're moving right along. Good job, guys. Again, put in the comments, questions, comments, also your own favorite quotes. I'd love to hear. Next is by Hillary Clinton. Whether you're a fan or not, she has shared some interesting wisdom in her career. So let's take a listen. Never doubt that you are valuable and powerful and deserving of every chance in the world to pursue your dreams. Like I said, whether you like her or not, I think that she has had a tremendous career, a tremendous effect on our history and our politics. And she's absolutely right. If you ever doubt for a second that you're not that you're valuable, if you ever doubt your place in this world, you invite the opportunity to be devalued. You invite the opportunity for people to treat you less than. So if you're looking to have respect, then you must respect yourself. If you're looking to be treated with a level of professionalism, then you have to be professional to yourself and professional. So essentially, you are in charge of showing the world how you want to be treated. You're also in charge of showing the world what you need, right, in your life, by delivering it and by existing in that space. So I think that that's what that truth is about. Alrighty, so we have just a couple more. I hope you've enjoyed these quotes. I think they are some of my favorite quotes to think about for not only just Women's History Month, but just like really good motivational quotes to just like get you going. Okay, this one's by Helen Keller. This is a good one. Remember, no effort that we make to attain something beautiful is ever lost. What does she mean? What do you think she means by that? I think personally, for me, when I read that, I think that whatever we do, right, are we always going to get the outcome of choice that we want? Not necessarily, right? Life isn't exactly like, okay, so I'm going to put in $1, play the lotto, and get the million, right? Because that's what it says. I can win, so I'm always going to win, right? Like, no, not necessarily. But doesn't mean you shouldn't do that if you want. Personally, I'm not going to touch the lotto and gambling thing. You've got to make your own decision on that. I'll tell you, certain people like Dave Ramsey have certain thoughts on it. I follow Dave Ramsey's approach, so I follow his lead there. So you can look that up if you're a total money maker, if you're interested in that. But if we go to the career side, right? Say you're looking to change jobs. Say you've ramped up, you like totally changed your resume. You've started to put out some feelers. You're going on some interviews. Is every interview you go on going to get you the job that you've applied for? Probably not, right? But is it not worth the effort trying? Of course it's worth the effort trying. You're trying to make a change in your life. That change is something beautiful. That change is something that you want, and you deserve the opportunity for that change. So even when we don't necessarily get the outcome that we want in something, or after trying to do something, we still got to do it. Because it's the glory in the try, it's the glory and effort in the process that you still have to commit to, regardless of the outcome. All right? Next one. This is Audrey Hepburn. I really liked her as well. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says I'm possible. You might have seen that around, and that I think probably be the most popular quote that we'll go over today, but I'll read it again just to make sure you understood. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says I'm possible. So. Impossibility is I'm possible, right? Just break it down into an easy equation. Impossible equals I'm possible. So the next time that you ever feel like you can't do something, that you want to say to yourself or others, this is impossible, pause. Audrey Hepburn said, nothing is impossible. In the word impossible says I'm possible, right? Just always remember that anything is possible. Anything. No matter like zero, it could seem like 0% possible. It's still 0.1. It's anything is possible, guys. Anything. So that's powerful. Right? Next quote, Catherine Cook. If you're not making mistakes, then you're not making decisions. Ooh. I really thought that was an interesting quote because, growing up in my life, my family's from a Caribbean background. My parents are Jamaican, and Caribbean culture is rough and tough, guys, right? It's a kind of culture where it's really not forgiving for, kind of lax attitude or what you mean, unaccomplished. You must be doctor, you must be lawyer, you must be professional, right? To be someone of value. And yes, I'm a lawyer by trade. I'm a professor. I do a lot, right? Because so much of who my identity was wrapped around this idea of productivity, this idea that like to be valuable is to do a lot of things, right? You must work, you must be productive. But, I've been able to kind of unwrap and unravel that identity and kind of reform it to what I need it to be to have a little bit more happiness and sanity in my mind and in the life that I'm living. So ultimately, though, when we're doing things, when we're trying to accomplish things, right? Are we always going to land? Are we always hitting 1,000? No. Some things just kind of fall. Some things don't hit how you think, right? And it's not about the failure. It's not about the mistake. It's about how we rise up, how we learn, right? I do a lot of tutoring as well. And, a lot of what I tell my students that are working to pass the bar exam, right, is this idea that, it's not about getting stuff wrong. It's about understanding how to get it right in the future. And if you really take that out of the academic sense and you apply it to life, it's not about the fact that you fell. Everyone falls. Who gives a shit? Like, get over it. Everyone's falling. But how did you get up? Right? What did you learn in that fall? That's the kicker. That's the difference between you and the person who's going to go and get up and make that company come alive. The person who's going to turn their dreams into reality. The person who's going to write that next bestseller. The person who's going to pitch the network and get their new TV show. The person who's going to write a book and go on a book tour. The person who's going to change their frickin' life because they figured out, how can I do this different? Because until you get in that mindset and in that groove of like, how can I figure out how to not do this again? How to make this transition a little bit better? That struggle that you will have will always be there. That's the kicker. You have to figure out, how do I fix going forward? Not get fixated on the idea that you fell or that there was a quote unquote failure, quote unquote mistake. It's about the growth. Remember, growth and glory. It's that learning piece that we have to really figure it out. All right. So I love that, Catherine Cook. Good stuff. And then last one, Eleanor Roosevelt, which was a woman that I really looked up to growing up. I thought she was everything, really. Her quote is, "A woman is like a tea bag. Only in hot water do you realize how strong she is." I'm both like tickled pink by this quote, but I'm also like slightly pissed off because it's also sharing what the implication or the idea that women are underestimated, which we are. Over and over and over and over again, right? This idea that, oh, she's a woman and she did that, right? And as a person of color, living in a body that's a bigger body, right? So I'm a woman, I'm black, right? And I'm plus size. How many times do you think I get the questioning of if I can do this, if I can overcome, if I can, right? This kind of constant battle to show the world that, like, hell's yes, I can do whatever the frick I want to do, right? And I happen to be a woman, and I happen to be a person of color, and I happen to be plus size, right? Like, yes, those are a part of my identifiers, but they're not the only thing that I am. It's a holistic approach and view that we need to take when we look at people. And that's the problem. We look at people in closed-minded, rose-colored glasses, and then we're like, oh, wow, you're a woman and you're going to space. Like, okay, whatever. Like... so tired of you. So tired, right? So this idea that women are constantly having to quote unquote prove themselves, which they don't, right? You're not in a competition with anyone else but yourself. You're not here to prove anything to the world, but the world gets radically shocked when we accomplish things and when we do things. And I think because of feminism, because of movements like the Me Too movement and people holding people accountable now in this world in a way that didn't happen in the 40s and 50s, and I can't even speak on before the atrocities that were, that's a different live stream, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, that women are now taken much more seriously, that women CEOs is not something that's like totally out of the realm of possibility, that people freaking get it, that we can run stuff. And it's like, if we could run households, if we could give life, I'm not quite sure why business is something that's so radical, but whatever, we're here, we're living, we're slaying. Yes, queen, yes, right? But it's true that women are constantly undervalued and totally surprised when we can do everything. And so many times we are forced to do everything. We're forced to be the mother, the caretaker, the wife, the business owner, the this, the that, and we do it and we still slay. You know, we still get it done. So those are my quotes for the month. That's pretty much our time for today. I just have a couple of things to kind of like wrap this up. If you missed any of it, feel free to, hey there. Feel free to totally rewind, watch this on the replay. If you have comments after, totally put them in. I'm happy to come back in here. Definitely, if you are not already a part of the Style For It community, go to styleforit.com. I have it in the comments. Please, please, please join. Sign up for the newsletter. Open up a shop. Curvy ladies, if you are sizes 12 to 32, y'all want to make money? You know what you need to do. Open up a Style For It shop and sell things in your closet. Promote your shop to your friends and family. Make some money. Do some spring cleaning. Yes, it is that time of the year. I know everybody's talking about cleaning out books and furniture, but we all have a lot of stuff in our closet that we could be cleaning out and actually make money for and make room for things that we actually need and want. And have a good time with that, all right? And then again, if you have questions or thoughts about the platform, always feel free to reach out, info@styleforit.com. And then if you're interested in collaborating with the company, say you want to do a live stream with me, say you have ideas for a topic, totally put that in the comments, put your name, put your email, your website, so that I can get in touch with you as a style ambassador. I'm super excited to do that. Okay, so thanks for joining. Thanks for celebrating Women's History Month. Woohoo! And I don't want to end without what? Telling you how do we celebrate Women's History Month beyond March? Simple. Like things that are women focused, women-owned businesses. Are you supporting women-owned businesses? If you haven't supported a woman-owned business today, hello, go to styleforit.com, join the community, buy and snatch a one-of-a-kind great deal for yourself, or open up a shop and say, hey, start making money. That's a way you can support the business. You can also do what? You can go to women-focused events. You can learn women history every single day. It's totally beyond just this month, guys. It's all about being a part of the movement, moving the needle forward, and just being an active participant of things that matter to you. And if celebrating women matters to you, then put your money where your mouth is, put your time and effort where it counts, and do what needs to be done. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you go to styleforit.com. If you want to connect with me, I'll put my comments in here. You can always connect with me. I'll put that in here right now at dressingroom.com. And that's where you'll find my blog, my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the blog. You can totally check out all my content. I'm constantly busy. I'm constantly uploading things. This is what I do. This is what I love. This has been an honor and total privilege to be able to do this here. So make sure you do that. And I don't know if it's loaded yet, but dressingroommate.com, guys. And then with that, I just thank you for tuning in. And if you're like, oh, well, when's your next program? You can totally see on the Style For It Facebook page. So facebook.com/Style For It. And you can go to the events and you'll see all our upcoming events. And again, I hope we can work together. I hope you join the community. Thank you. Hugs and kisses. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.